Alright, here I'm going to go ahead and explain how it is to make a cheap frost cutlery sword. It's like a, I don't know, $25 sword. Super cheap. Into a decent, nice sword. Because, I mean, the way it came, factory, it's not good because the tang. Okay, first thing you want to do is take off this. Alright, it's just a little piece of aluminum. It pops right off. You might need to use a pair of pliers. And then what it just has this nut right here. It's real easy to get the handle off the tang. And the tang is just a piece of metal that goes through the handle. And I'll show you the defect with this sword here in a second when I take the handle off. It's real easy to take off. Make sure you keep your washer. Then all this stuff slides right off. And then the guard, it comes off too, but it's staying right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave it on there so I can keep everything together. This is the problem. It's a round hole, and this is the tang, alright? And it's not secured in there with anything. And I mean, you can't do anything with this sword. Like, you just can't do anything. And that comes apart too. You know, traditional Japanese samurai sword, it'll have like a piece of bamboo or something. You just push it out and you just hit the sword on the handle, and it pretty much just pops apart. And it's pretty cool, you know. And I mean, this does do a good interpretation of that sword. You know, the old samurai swords from like the 1400s and what have you. But you know, it really lacks the full tang that goes through the handle. And this is how you fix this, okay? So the first step here is to go ahead and mix up 4 ounces of fiberglass. And the way you do that, this is what I use. I use this stuff for all kinds of stuff. You just get something. I like to use these disposable measuring cups. I mean, they're a little pricey if you use them a lot. Just fill it to 4 ounces. I'm going to go ahead and fill that to 4 ounces. And the way this works, and the way I do it, just to keep things real simple, you know, I do small batches. And every ounce, you want to add 10 drops of hardener. The hardener will come with it, hopefully. You know, it should. And make sure you don't get the wrong stuff as far as your fiberglass is concerned. Because there's a lot of, you know, there's stuff for like body filler and stuff. Make sure it says fiberglass resin whenever you buy fiberglass stuff. Alright, I got my 4 ounces in there. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in 40. I had a couple extra just, you know, for good luck. That's why they sell this stuff separate, because generally people do this stuff. It'll set up a little bit faster, but it's alright. Alright, now I've got stuff together. You know, you want to go ahead and mix it up. Want to mix it, I usually go for like a minute or so. Mix up your resin, mix up your resin. Mix it up for, you know, 30 seconds, a minute. It's such a small batch that it's not really going to matter. And the little trick I did there with the, when I was doing the drops, is you'll kind of learn it when you're messing with this stuff a lot, but you'll get down to where you don't have enough pressure in the bottle, and then you'll just kind of like let up at the same time as you're turning it, and then let the hardener come down, then keep pressing on. That'll make more sense once you mess with it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's just so you know, when you're doing larger batches, like, you got to reset on your, as far as your, you know, your positioning is concerned, because eventually you're going to run out of air in here. Alright, that's mixed up. I got to kind of hustle here. Alright, so this stayed together, okay? Just take this and pop it back in here, just like so. It's real important that you have everything set up correctly. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour this stuff. Put a plate down, you know, underneath, because who knows what's going to happen here. I like to wear gloves when I'm messing with this stuff generally, but I'm just kind of kicking this thing out real quick. I'm probably going to want to go ahead, since I'm up so high, I'm trying to do it on video and keep everything on video. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the floor here. Pop that like so, and then go ahead and try and get my fiberglass into this hole, which as you can see is not going to be easy. It's going to be messy, and you know, you might want to go ahead. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, and it's going to just because I wanted a good handle on my stuff, you know. So there's just, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and do one of these deals. I gotta hurry up because that glass will set up pretty quickly. And that should do an alright job of keeping it in there. I'll just have to wipe off the excess when I'm done, because it's gonna, you know, it's just gonna pour. There's not a lot I can do about it. But I want to get it in that hole as much as possible, and off the handle as much as possible. Just gonna take it slow. Let it go in. Nice and easy. There we go. And the real important part here is going to be coming up when I put this thing together permanently. You see, I have my forearm resting on this table. That's a big deal with steadying this. You could put in a vise or something maybe. Make sure it's not coming out the bottom. Alright, looks good. Looks like it's not.
Yes.
Oh, we got a little bit. Alright. That's not a huge deal. I was a little bit worried about that. What I'll do is I'll just hold it over that way while I'm filling. It looks like even with that little bit of leakage, I've just about got it full. Okay, so now what I want to do ever so quickly here, where this stuff is setting up, is pop this washer on here, pop this on here, and start tightening everything down. Keeping pressure on it so the glass don't come out the bottom too horribly. Alright, and then here, this is super duper important. Okay, you want to look at, I mean, this is going to keep the tang together. I mean, look at all this. I mean, this is going to stay connected now. I'm not going to have any issues. You know, hopefully I won't have to take it apart. All right, see how that moves around on that right there? And everything's kind of loose. You want to go ahead and keep it, everything to the right side. My right side. And then hand tighten up here. And keep it that way. Because when you get to the end of your tightening, it's gonna move it that way organically. Like that's just kind of the way it's gonna go from tightening. Not a whole lot you can do about it. You just kind of want to look at it, and then you can kind of, when you're getting close, just keep looking at it, and then once it's in the middle there, that's just the way it's kind of going to go, you know. Keep an eye on it. I can keep tightening it a little bit more. Alright, she's tight. I mean, that's really important to make sure everything stays together. And I mean, this is going to be a permanent thing, so what I'm going to do here, pop a little bit of this stuff in here. Starting to set up, I can feel it. Pop it back together. Give it a tap. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Perfectly straight. Everything looks good. And then definitely go ahead and get the glass off of the blade. And it's good that the glass is all up and through here. You know, I wanted that. I'll be quick with this stuff because this stuff sets up. It's a pain in the butt to get off stuff. Like right now, it's fine. It comes right off. But in a second, it will not be that easy. And paint thinner, when you use paint thinner for getting the last of this off too. So I'll keep it upright so no more comes out. Got all the glass we want around the hand guard in this piece. I don't need any more there. So definitely want to keep it upright while it's set. And as you can see, I painted this thing too. I'm going to repaint it, but that was just something I was messing with. Alright, I'm not seeing any big smears of fiberglass. And everything's tight now, so, you know, it's not really going to come out anymore. And once it sets up, gets painted, and what have you, you know, won't have anything to worry about. So now what I'm going to do is, it's going to take a couple hours to set up. I'll go ahead and let it set up, and also painted this too, just so it's black. It's because the colors it came in was done. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it, you know, I'll probably hang it, like, just set it like this somewhere, and let it set up for a few hours. And I'll know it's done there when this is dry. You know, my excess that I got left over there. When that's dried up, I'll know that's set up. So I'll be back in a bit after it's done. Alright, it's all dry. Here's the fiberglass that I had in here. It is super hard. It won't even come out. I was going to try to get it to come out and come in a brick, but so I know that it's been like 2-3 hours. How long has it been at Sandy S's?
I don't know, 2-3 hours.
All right, it's been 2-3 hours, so you know it's good to go. I felt it; it feels good. I'm just gonna, before I go out and test it and all that fun stuff, I'm just gonna show how I connect this to my backpack. I like to carry it on my back, and you know, ninja style, which is the way that I was taught how to do this stuff. How to carry it, and I'm gonna go ahead and show how I tie too. It's just like this. I put it up through this part right here. If Sandy S's will come look, I put it through this part. Not so close. Yep, I put it through this part right here, as you can see there, and then it goes through this, and then here I go through that. It's you can use like a 3-foot piece of string, and it goes around this strap here, and then what it does here, so that it'll lay like that, even with this out like this comes like this, okay, you see that goes around the strap, and then that goes through there, and you want your square knot to snug up right against there as much as possible. And what that'll do, that'll hold it where you want it. Alright, I haven't tested it out or anything yet. I'm going to go ahead and show how to get this thing out when it's on your back. Like a lot of people for some reason seem to think it's impossible, but it's not. Real big thing with this is you want your straps all the way as tight as they'll go around here. Some of them have a connector or whatever, but you want to keep you want to favor this side, okay, to be a little bit longer, which is my right side, which is the side the sword's on. You want this strap the longest when it comes out of here, and you want this to be the short, so it keeps it over in this direction. And I'll go ahead and you know, I'll show why in a second. It'll all make a whole lot more sense. All right, so to get your sword out and put it back, I'll show that before I test this thing. It's very simple. I'll do it in slow motion so people can see it. Grab the sword, pop it like that, put your hand like kind of on the back. You don't want to grab the blade, obviously. Let it slide down, then you grab the tip. Once it, you know, right around the second it hits the ground, you want to have your hand on the tip without touching the blade and without getting stabbed by the tip. Then you just simply move it over to your left hand, and you can move it over to your other hand, however you want to do it. And the way you put it back is you just go ahead and grab it just like this. You put your hand here, okay? Move it like that, do one of those, and you can either go down like that and then pop it back in. And another thing that you can do if you want to like kind of show off your skills or something is you can do one of these, okay, put it in there, and then you can just put your foot on it, okay, and then pop it up, put your hand on it, and then pop it in. So just some kind of, you know, some little things that, you know, not everybody really knows. So let's go ahead and test this thing. I have not tested it out yet. It feels nice and stout. So here we go. That thing slices stuff like butter. Wow. I mean, before when I was doing that stuff, you know, it wouldn't get through anything, like at all. And now it's just doing an excellent job. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, your tang being in your handle correctly makes all the difference. I mean, it's just, the difference is just incredible. Look at that. Everything's still good. So anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.